Now, I said recently on one of my podcast episodes, some of these big brands like Traxxas and Armour need to be careful because brands like Rolalo and MJX are starting to drop some bigger trucks, and I'm talking about 1/8 scale and 1/7 scale trucks. Now, MJX have just announced that there's going to be a new 1/8 scale truck. This time it's going to be their 1/8 scale Ford Bronco R. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen MJX use this body. Of course, we see this a little while back on their 1/12 scale platform, and yeah, I didn't really have a lot of nice things to say about that. I just felt that it was a bit confused. You know, this is a Baja 1000 inspired body on a crawler chassis, which I just find a slight odd choice, especially with the H12Y chassis that they used with the 12th scale version. That wasn't very good to begin with. The receiver box was in a weird place. It didn't really drive very nicely and just wasn't a very nice crawler chassis. And then MJX decided to fit a very, very nice licensed body, the Ford Bronco R body, to that truck. And yeah, it was very underwhelming. Didn't really perform well. And, you know, I did mention quite a few times, it's a Baja 1000 body. You know, it's based on a Baja 1000 truck. And, you know, those trucks are known for speeding through deserts and all kinds of crazy terrain, you know, at fairly high speed. And then, you know, MJX have put a body like that on a crawler chassis. It just didn't really make sense to me. A lot of channels didn't really see it in that way, and they all said, yeah, you know, it's good, it can be made better and everything else. Gav at RC Kicks actually agreed with me, and he did a video on it, and he pretty much agreed with every point I made. You know, I said it was confused, it didn't look right, it didn't feel right to drive. It just wasn't a very good attempt by MJX. Anyway, enough about the previous one, because there is a new one, and this time it's 1/8 scale. And it looks like there's some upgrades on it as well. Now, I see this last week, but I wasn't actually allowed to post any photos of it and everything else, but I've noticed some Facebook groups have started posting photos and images of it, so why not do a little update on this and a little bit of an announcement on this on the More Beyond RC channel, because that is why I started the second channel, to kind of talk about new releases, secret stuff that, you know, has just been announced or no longer secret, and kind of get you guys to give me your take on it and what you think and everything else. Now, this one, of course, is again officially licensed. It's based on a truck that I've already featured before, the H8H, I believe it was, which was a Defender from what I can remember. Well, it looked like a Defender. It wasn't licensed. It wasn't officially licensed, but I'm pretty sure it was a Defender. I may be wrong. Of course, I'll find that video and stick that on the screen whilst you're listening to me. Now, that's a 1/8 scale truck, 2 to 3S capable, and from what I can remember, now this was a fairly long time ago, but from what I can remember, it was very fun. You know, it was popping wheelies. It's brushless, of course, so the power is there. It had a 35 kilogram steering servo, I believe. It had FOC, so, you know, really good low speed control, really good at crawling and everything else. But then when you kind of wanted to have some fun with it, of course you run it on 3S and it's popping wheelies, and just really good, powerful truck. Yes, it does have new upgraded and strengthened aluminium front and rear axles, which you can see in the picture here. It's got the same 80 amp FOC ESC, and you can go in on the mobile app and change settings and everything else. It says it's got a new lower centre of gravity layout. It does look lower. It does look lower on the images compared to the other truck. So I wonder if this is going to handle a little bit nicer. Bearing in mind it is still a crawler, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. It looks like it's got the same kind of tyre design as the 12th scale version. Decent sized battery tray. Recommended battery is a 5000 mAh 3S. Magnetic quick release body. Built-in roll cage. Yeah, built-in roll cage. 8-channel transmitter and receiver. And yeah, like I said, it's based on the other truck that I have already featured. Now, yeah, looks cool. Absolutely fantastic looking body. And we see that on the 1/12 scale version. It looked epic. Now, again, I'm going to ask the same question, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments. Does that body belong on a crawler chassis? Now, I'll remind us of how fast the other truck went. I'll stick the speed run on the screen, and then you can kind of, bear in mind again, this is a Baja 1000 truck. Should this be on this kind of chassis? I mean, here's a quick look at the speed run, or a little bit of footage from the speed run that I did with the previous truck. Take a look at this.
This thing is a wheelie machine. Right, full throttle again. Let's bring it back. Let's see what we managed to achieve on 3S. Right, so let's hit stop and read. 17 miles per hour, so not quite 20, but that's still really quick considering the size of this truck and the fact that it's a crawler.
Yeah, it's not really the quickest thing, but of course it's a crawler chassis, so you can't really expect anything more. My take on this, I think they should have, they've got a really good body, they've got the licensing sorted, they've got everything. I think they should have made a new chassis for this. I think this could have been an absolute winner, a game changer if anything. But I think they should have created or adapted another chassis for this body. I think it should have potentially been maybe a short course truck chassis or a trophy truck chassis with that body on it, maybe fairly low to the ground. Maybe even 4S capable, bearing in mind it's a 1/8 scale. 4S I think would have been cool. Yeah, I'm hoping to get my hands on one of these to actually give it a proper test and a proper review and everything else, and I'm hoping to do that fairly soon. It's when it actually arrives into the country, and then I'm hoping I can get a sample to have a go with. Yeah, I'm in two minds about this one. I have to be honest, I am in two minds about this. I don't know if, again, it was the best choice of chassis for this kind of body. Pretty much exactly what I said about the first one, the 1/12 scale version. Now, I know for a fact that the previous truck with the same chassis was really fun. It was popping wheelies like crazy and doing everything else, and it was really fun. Now, is this going to be exactly the same? I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to actually give it a test. But like I say, I'm going to be hopefully doing that very soon, and then we can kind of do a proper review on it, see how it goes, and go from there. Alright, well, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Is this something you'll be interested in? Is it something you're going to buy? Let me know in the comments, and I look forward to hearing what you make of this, and I look forward to giving it a go. Alright, cheers.